Well, well, well. If it isn't my favorite detective, someone finally paid my bail. Please tell me you've got some news for me. I'm dying of boredom in here, you know? Not even going to give me the courtesy of hello, are you? Of course not. Why would I think someone like you would have even an ounce of decency? So, what's the news? I'm finally getting out of this joint, or what? Wait. Seriously? I am. It's about time. One condition. Okay. What condition? You need my help. A favor, then. Fan-fucking-tastic. It's always a catch with you. Keepers at peace types, isn't it? Alright then. Go on. Spit it out. What's the favor? Yeah, I've heard of them. So, what, is the local serial killer too much for the oh-so-brilliant detective? I thought you were smarter than that. But here you are, having to come to me for help. And why is that, Because you think if you had someone to get into the mind of the killer, you'd, be able to catch them faster? Because it worked for Jodie Foster? You really shouldn't believe everything you watch in movies. You especially shouldn't get too fixated on movies with Jodie Foster. Remember the last guy that did that? But you're not Jodie Foster. And this isn't Silence of the fucking Lambs. This is real life, detective. Not a fantasy world where you get to do what you want and catch the bad guy and save the day and everyone throws you a parade. Geez, just another example of that police incompetence everybody talks about in regards to a serial killer case. Well, of course I'm familiar with the concept of police incompetence. I've watched just as many of those YouTube true crime documentaries as the next guy/girl/slash person. The amount of research that those people put in is quite admirable, isn't it? Oh, don't look at me like that. I'm a killer, not a monster. Credit where credit's due, those people do an excellent job. Much better than the police forces in those actual cases. But I haven't been able to catch any good ones in a while. Not since I was locked up, anyway. Kinda hard to enjoy the failings of the system when you end up as proof that sometimes they do something right. Still, something took you, 7, 8 years? And that's because I was just that good at covering my tracks, detective. Fine, the point. I'll get to it. Whoa there. Getting testy, are we? Well, I never said that. I mean, the offer is enticing after all. Freedom. Sure, I'd be stuck with you, but you are honestly the least annoying person in this entire facility, so it wouldn't be like complete freedom, but still freedom. And you wouldn't need to put a shock collar or handcuffs on me or anything, right? Like, I get free reign? I mean, if you're into that, I wouldn't exactly object. I don't get free reign. Shame. I get it. Sounds like it's going to be the handcuffs after all. Anyway, about your offer, I think before I make my decision, I'll need you to. What do they say in the movies? Brief me. on the case. You got the files, right? Yes, yes, I did say that. Good, you're paying attention. But there's a difference between me saying a phrase from a number of movies and you literally reenacting a famous scene from an iconic movie. Just brief me. What is their modus operandi? Do they seem to have a specific type of target? It's been a while since I've read the paper or anything, so how many victims are they at? Hmm. Ooh, okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah, got it. So, you need me to get into their really, really fucked up head. I mean, seriously, I thought the guy in Block D who killed and served his family at his diner was bad, but damn, that's some crazy shit. And it's only been what, a year and a half? Tired of how the incompetent police label already, are you? Oh, relax. I'm just messing with you. But why'd you wait so long to try the Hollywood approach? Oh, wanted to from the start, but the higher ups didn't like the idea of letting another murderer loose, eh? That's fair. On top of that, there's quite a few of us to choose from, aren't there? I mean, it makes sense since this is a pretty moderately secured facility, but at least you went to me and not the cannibal guy. That would have been a whole new level of irony. And he also probably would have overpowered you and made you his next meal. And yeah, I know I said he only served his family to people at the diner, but everyone knows he keeps the. What did he call it? Oh, the best bits for himself. Never shuts up about it. And when he starts describing it, oh, you'd better leave. God, he talks about them as if they were cattle. He's really weird about it, and that's coming from me. And you remember what I did, don't you, detective? Of course you do. I can see it in your face. That scene is still etched into your mind when you close your eyes at night, isn't it? I'm really sorry about that. Truly, it had not been meant for you. I didn't anticipate on her kid sibling slash brother slash sister staying with her at the time. What were you? 15, 18? Hell, even if you were 20, you were still far too young to see the body. She was practically unidentifiable when I was done with her, and they're still far better than she deserved. Say what you want, but she wasn't the older sister you thought she was. I know you think I'm a monster for what I've done. I probably ruined your fucking life, didn't I? Of course I did. Guess we both had our lives ruined because of her. And I know you don't want to be asking my help on this case, but I can see it on your face. You have no other choice but me. Because the killer scaring everybody senseless is using the exact same method I used. Only difference is, I knew my victim personally. Crime of passion, as it were. You look like you want to commit one of your own, right now. But I can't say I blame you. Bet you want to watch the last signs of life leave my body by your hands, don't you? Maybe strangulation, torture. Either way, could be a fun night for both of us. Okay, okay, I'll stop. For real this time. We can just get on with it. The matter of the fact is, you need me. And you hate that you need me. You look at me and you don't even see a person, do you? No, what you see is a monster. A monster that took somebody that you cared about away from you. A monster that wouldn't even give you the satisfaction of an explanation. even after you pressed so hard during the investigation. Something with a power that you are far too hesitant to release. Why? You're going to ask me why I did what I did. What does it matter? You're biased, detective. No matter what I say to try and justify myself, it won't matter to you, because you'll only ever get one side of the story. I made sure of that. Believe me, I do have a reason, but it's been years now. The reason will never matter to you, because what you want is logic and rationality, and frankly, nothing I say will give you that. Because there'll always be that thought at the back of your mind, questioning whether or not I'm lying to you. And that, detective, is why you haven't had a single lead in this case. So, all you need is for me to help you catch this killer, and then... Well, I wasn't exactly expecting you to let me leave just after we catch them. I know you're just going to lock me back up as soon as you're done using me, like I'm some sort of circus animal. And I know you weren't going to just let me wander freely while we've got your little deal in place. You made that very clear already. Still, I think this arrangement could benefit the both of us. So, why don't we make it official? Not with paperwork or anything. That can be dealt with later. But just a good, old-fashioned handshake. So, let's shake on it. Ah, pleasure doing business with you, detective. Now I'll be seeing you out then. Till next time, partner. Things finally got interesting around here.
How on earth can you be this disorganized, detective?
Is that why it only took you so long to catch me? Well, that and just how great I was at covering my tracks, of course. Can't forget that. But really, you need to keep everything in order, because if you don't, you might just lose some of the most important things. How do I know? Well, you could say that I'm a very organized person. Before I got put in the clink, you should have seen my place. Probably could have given Mr. Clean a run for his money. It's nothing important, just making conversation is all. It's been so long since I've been able to talk like this. So many of the inmates just talk about the crimes they've committed, and that really gets tiring. But I guess I gave up my right for pleasant conversation when I did what I did, huh? Whoa, whoa. No need for that harsh language, detective. I know you don't want to be anywhere near me, but you're going to have to learn to be professional about it and cooperate with me. We're a team now, whether you like it or not. Besides, with me on board, you don't have to spend another, what was it, 7 years? Another 7 years running around in circles like a dog chasing its own fucking tail. So, lighten up. If anything, I'm going to be doing you a favor. Detective! How could you? Is my reputation all that you care about? Relax, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not, so get over it already. Don't want to get over it? Fine, then don't. I said that I was sorry that you had to find a corpse like that, and I really did mean it. But either way, She would have been dead no matter who found her. It should have been that piece of shit Arnold that I saw her with. But I digress, and the past is the past. Yeah, you might want to be more careful. Even if it sounds like there's more to the story than I've already told, I could still be lying to you. Don't take everything I say at face value. Don't take anything anyone says at face value when you're working on a case like this. I may be a partner, but I'm still a murderer. I'll behave myself. It's just a bit of friendly advice from me to you. Aw, I know you aren't my friend. You don't have to be for the advice to be friendly, but you don't have to take it if you don't want to. I don't really care either way. I'm only doing this so I can get some fresh fucking air again anyway. So, what can you tell me about this serial killer that I don't already know from your little debriefing the other day? Just thought I'd ask, that's all. You never know how things can go in these cases. Sometimes, even in a couple of days, there's big breaks. But not in this one, apparently. So, we do know that this person isn't me, since I got put in the clink before they started their little copycat spree. Which, another thing, why is it that there are so many people who decide they want to be copycat killers? I mean, like, doesn't it just make more sense to be known for yourself and not just for copying someone else? Well, yeah, I guess you could say that I care a lot about it considering it's my work they're copying. That shit was meant to be special, you know? Something that nobody had ever seen before and something that meant something. You know, for the irony of it all. But I guess considering that that was your sister, you can't appreciate the irony. Not that it was anything that was known to anyone but the two of us. But enough of that. I don't want to talk about it. It doesn't bring back the fondest of memories. What's more important is the present. And in the present, we've got a killer to catch. So you've had me drone on and on to avoid answering the question, haven't you? Regardless of whether I started it myself, you've used it to avoid answering the question. Have you gained any new information? Of course you fucking haven't, that's what I expect. And just how much of a copycat would you say they are? If you recall, I left absolutely no trace. I was thorough. No fingerprints, shoe prints, nothing. Remember the only lead you had on me back then? A hunch. A goddamned hunch. And it wasn't even the police's hunch either. They did a shitty job with that case, and I should know. And so should you. It was your hunch, after all. I feel bad for you, detective. You were failed by the system, and here you are working for it. Why is that? Wait, don't tell me. You thought you were going to be the change the system deserved, right? Where am I going with this? What I'm saying is that it's possible your team may have missed something at any of the other crime scenes of this killer. If you're only dealing with one victim, you've got the likelihood of them wanting to clean up the scene as much as possible so they can get away with it. But a serial killer, oh, using methods that were only meant for one victim, oh, things can get a little messy, don't you think? That's impossible. You can't tell me that they've done a full sweep of every single crime scene this killer has been a part of and they found nothing. No killer is that good at cleaning up a scene. Not that many times. There has to be something being missed. I, I bet it's too late to check back at most of the crime scenes. DNA evidence could have easily ended up covered up or moved around. And you said these were all assaults? What about entry? The ones you found in homes, were there signs of forced entry? Oh, only for some of them. Now, that is interesting. But nowadays, that's only possible if some of the victims knew their attacker. Well, I think that's one other possibility. It's simple. If the attacker disguised themselves in some way, the victim could have easily let their guard down. You know, like a delivery person of some sort, or something. I mean, you're the one who fought to get me involved in this. I hate to admit it, but I have to thank you for this newfound freedom, even if it is temporary. Oh, you want to change the subject? Okay, what did you want to talk about? I said I didn't want to talk about it. Just let it go already. If I ever want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. But right now, I don't want to open up about a case that's been closed for 2 years. You caught me already, so stop bringing it up. I'm gonna go get something to eat. You want anything? Relax, I never said I'd leave. I meant I was going to grab something from your fridge. You know, since we'll be sharing it for a while. What kind of stuff do you like to eat? I may be a little rusty, but I used to love cooking before I got put away. I mean, I loved it, but sometimes I didn't have a chance to cook. But I guess now's my first chance in a long time to cook for someone. So, what will it be? That's all. Nothing else? Not that I'm judging. I just figured all this thinking would make you work up a hell of an appetite. Hmm, you think I'm acting nice? I think you're forgetting who I am now. I'm not nice. I'm a murderer, detective. On top of that, I'm your worst enemy. No matter what, you really shouldn't let your guard down around me. I've told you already, this is just a business arrangement, so you shouldn't bother trying to get to know me. Once this case gets solved, I'll be shoved back in that small ass cell, and you'll never have to come my way again. Won't that be great for you, detective? Stop calling you detective. Why? What's the matter? Afraid of earning a little respect for once? Guess you don't get too much of that on the force, do you? It's your title, though. What the fuck am I supposed to call you? Fine. Fine, anything else it is. Shithead. Motherfucker. Bastard. Take your pick. Jeez, okay, don't fucking yell. I'll take it seriously. Tech. D. Handler. Keeper. I've been avoiding using your name. Oof. Didn't even notice. But you should just stick with the codename system, you know, in case we come across the killer without realizing it. You'd be too easy for them to hunt down in that case. Me? I mean, yeah, I guess people around here would know my name. But who the fuck is gonna want to hunt me down? Just, you have to trust me on this. If nothing else, you need to come up with one for me too. Jailbird. Really? That's what you're going to go with. Fine. Whatever. I don't really care. I'm calling you Cage. Then, since you want to be ridiculous with the whole naming thing. A new lead has been found on the recent serial killer case. This body was found in an abandoned house on the edge of town. Police are
Oh,
arriving at the scene
fuck.
now.
Fuck, we gotta go.
Yeah, I was going to eat, but that was before someone found another goddamn victim. We need to get over there ASAP. Maybe this time you'll be able to get some actual clues. Come on, I'll drive.
Cage, open up. You can't keep holding yourself in your bedroom. You need to come out sometime. Seeing the body that fresh must have brought back some awful memories, huh? The way you panicked back there, Look, it's been about a week now, and I think it's time you move on. I know this case is really difficult for you because of all the personal details surrounding it, but you have to get back out there and stop this killer. For all the people who've lost their lives, for the people who are going to lose their lives if we sit around and do nothing. I know. I know it isn't like me to sound like I care. Maybe I don't even deserve to say anything on the matter. But as long as we're partners, I'm going to at least try to care. Or at least try to act like it. I don't like any of this more than you do, but we're stuck together until we catch that serial killer. That was the deal, remember? I I know you're tired from all of this, but you still have to pick yourself up. You've got a job to do. You aren't going to panic every time you see another victim. You never panicked before this one, right? There was something about this one that reminded you of back then. Maybe being around me isn't the best for you with all this stress. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what you need because I don't. But I do know that you aren't going to get anything done if you sit in there afraid that something is going to happen. Normally, I'd agree with you. People shouldn't be rushed to feel better after a stressful situation, but these are people's lives we're talking about here. I'm here to support you with this case, but I can't just be sitting here browsing the TV or going through online news articles for clues we might have missed until you feel better. There's only so much of that a person can take. Huh. If, if you weren't moping about since we visited the crime scene, what what have you been doing in your room this whole time? I mean, it has been a week. Going through the crime scene photos of all the victims. Is it because of what we talked about last time? You're not shitting me. You mean we're actually going to get somewhere with this? Well, that is good news. And I'm sorry about what I said earlier. I guess I underestimated you, didn't I? I really shouldn't have, since you're the one who caught me. What about that? You're not going to pester me again about it, are you? I already told you to stop asking. Because whatever I tell you won't make a difference. You'll just see it as me trying to gain favor with you in an attempt to get a lesser sentence or something. Not that I care about how long my sentence is anyway. She was a shit person, but I don't feel like it's right to speak about what happened between me and your sister. You cared about her an awful lot. Look up to her, even. I don't think you're ready to have that image shattered for you. Not yet, anyway. I know you think you're ready, but I'm gonna level with you, it was some pretty fucked up shit. You got that from what I said before? Yeah. Yeah, she did cheat on me. Had been for a good chunk of the relationship, actually. But it's all a long story. Besides, it's in the past now. I'm over it. Still getting punished for it, but I'm over it. Just leave it at that for now. So, did you find anything new while you were looking through all those photos? Loose clothing fibers? Dead skin flakes? Anything? You did. I have to say, you are sharp, Gage. Maybe there were just so many details before that your thoughts were disorganized. But that's fine, that's why I'm here, isn't it? To help point you in the right direction. I was kidding. Don't worry. I know that if anything, it's the other way around. Just trying to lighten the mood, you know? Anyway, what did you find? I meant, besides the fact that the investigation team had done a shit job at not tampering with the fucking evidence. Any fingerprints found? I mean, tell me you've got something that might narrow down to a potential suspect list. Would you mind if I took a look at the photos? I mean, if what you're saying is true, how could nobody have noticed for months that one of the victims had unidentified human hair on their clothing? Oh, you're right. Clear as day. That is blonde hair on a black sweater. How can you stomach looking this shit all day? It's so weird to see corpses and all that. I know, but that was different. It's not like I lingered about and just admired my work or whatever. I did what I had to do and then got the fuck out of there. Actually, I don't like to look at corpses too much. I'm not sure if it's the glossy eyes or the rigor mortis, but it just makes me feel uneasy. Yeah, maybe I am a little weird for a murderer, but your preconceived notions about how a murderer acts aren't going to apply to everyone in the world, are you? Well, are they? Besides, it was just one time. Wasn't anything like this. I don't think I could have handled strangling a person a second time. Not with all the squirming and screaming. I don't. I was just saying. I'm not going to talk about it with you. Maybe some other time, but not today. I'm not about to ruin the fact that you've actually made some progress by souring the mood. If you keep it up, you might even be able to write up a suspect list soon. One step closer to getting to the end of this thing. Yeah? And what's that? What doesn't add up for you? It seems like they're doing a shitty job on purpose. Wait, like someone's covering something up? Damn. You really think so? Well, I guess that means you need to be on your toes then, doesn't it? Me? I'm always on high alert. You don't need to worry about me, but it's obvious that I need to worry about you. When was the last time you ate? I thought so. You've barely been leaving the room lately. After all, are you sure you're all right? I mean, that was some panic attack you had back there, and we haven't really had the opportunity to talk about it. I know I come off as abrasive, but while we're partners, I want you to know that I will have your back, no matter what. Neither of us have to like it, but... What? You've started minding my company less? Is that why you haven't been complaining about me running around your home without a leash? Or constantly side-eyeing me in case I come at you with a kitchen knife? Don't make that face. Did you really think I hadn't noticed any of that? No hard feelings, though. I get that it's instinct for you. That's good. You want to keep those instincts while working this case. Who knows what might happen if you let your guard down, after all? Yeah, I don't mean to alarm you. I just feel like it would be best for you to be cautious. Not enough that you won't do anything without looking over your shoulder, but you just need to be observant. Do you think there'll be a time when you won't be anxious around me at all? I just kind of feel like all that energy is wasted on keeping an eye on me. I mean, I was on the lam for ages, and it isn't like I was going around committing crimes all that time, but I guess you can do as you like. Still, I'd suggest being really cautious when you go into work, especially if someone who isn't part of your investigation team starts showing interest in how you're working the case. Just keep an eye out from now on, okay? If something happens, I don't think this killer will be caught. What makes me say that? I don't know, just a feeling, I guess. Let's get our minds off of it for now. I'll go make dinner. Do you want anything in particular? Alright. You go read a book or whatever the fuck you do in your spare time. I'll be in the kitchen. I'll call you when everything's ready, so just relax until then. Lottie, I didn't mean to. It isn't my fault. Didn't have what you wanted. You're right, Lottie. I should have tried harder. No, not again. Please, not that. Anything but the cage. What are you doing here? That body isn't yours, Lottie. Don't be stupid. You and I both know what I did to yours. I know it looks the same, but it's not. Can't you tell the hair's all wrong? Your hair's all fire now. Don't they have mirrors where you went? Lottie, what the fuck? Don't think. I won't kill you again, you piece of shit. Cage? What the fuck are you still doing up? You were getting a drink and you heard me talking in my sleep. Fuck, I'm sorry. I must have been pretty loud. Did I? Sounds about right. That woman is gonna haunt me until the day I fucking die. Just forget you heard anything. What do you mean you can't do that? You never had a hard time getting mad whenever I talk shit. What, now you're gonna insist on finding out what happened between me and your fucking bitch of a sister? Oh, you care about me, do you? Or maybe you should stop. Maybe you should go back to being angry about what I did to her. I'm not running away from my problems, Cage. You keep overstepping your goddamn boundaries and asking. Besides, it's not like what happened is even important to the case. I'm what's important? Oh, come on, don't give me that cheesy line. You hate me, remember? A little less than before, huh? Well, that's progress, I suppose. Not that we need any progress. We were fine the way we were. I preferred it that way. Well, because you look so much like her. I'm fine most of the time, but sometimes it hurts to look at you. I look at you some days and all I see is her. And I have to remind myself that she's gone. And that she's been gone for a long time. Yeah, she did hurt me. More than you could ever imagine, but that doesn't matter right now. I matter. Of course you'd say something like that. You're not just gonna butter me up like some sort of shitty good cop routine so I'll talk, are you? You genuinely believe that? You genuinely think you care about me? You looked into... Cage, what the fuck? Why were you doing a background check on me? Here we go, you're just going to ignore me now. Blah, blah, blah. I was a completely different person before shit hit the fan. Yeah, I know. I was there when it all hit, remember? Can't you just let sleeping dogs lie, Cage? You can't help. You're not a fucking therapist. Which, like, I couldn't even get a therapist when I went on the lam, you know? Because how the fuck could I possibly explain that there was no other choice but to kill her? No, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to go back to sleep. For what it's worth, I'm not really all that upset with you. All those years without closure, it's only natural you'd try pushing for that explanation now since you have the chance. I'm just not ready. I know we've been working together for like a few weeks now, but that's a lot to dump on someone when you barely even know them. You know what I mean? Well, I knew about you back then, but it's not like we'd actually meet until I was caught. You know, I hadn't actually planned on going on the run back then. I was so scared and angry, and there was so much adrenaline, and I wasn't thinking straight. Why did I bother covering my tracks? I mean, if you had just killed your girlfriend in the most violent way possible in a state of panic, would you really be thinking rationally? Or would you be thinking of continuing your own survival? In a way, something that should have been the most stressful time in my life was the most calm and relaxed I'd ever been in years. I guess I was too afraid of giving that up, even if I didn't deserve it. Well, there was that, and the added bonus of the little ego boost I got from evading the cops for so long, you know? Well, I mean, you're not gonna let me rest until I finally tell you what happened between me and Lottie, are you? I'm willing to tell you, even if I don't feel completely ready, but you have to promise me that no matter what I say, you aren't going to try and kill me. Okay? Right. Okay. Settle in then. It's not going to be a pleasant story. So let me know if you want me to stop at any time. Yeah? Great. Great. Well, you did a background check on me, so you know I was a lot different back in the day. Had good grades in school, social life. Okay, so maybe I was still a little abrasive, but I was mostly pretty approachable. And then I met Lottie. Yeah. I was happy at first. She was loving, a good listener. Always tried to help me figure out my problems. Then she got bossy. And violent. Yeah. Violent. I know what you want to say. She wasn't like that, but she was. And it all started when she got jealous of the nights I'd go out with my friends. So she got into my phone and started arguments with everyone, pretending to be me. I don't even know what was said, because she deleted the messages after, but it was bad. But even then I stayed. She told me it was my fault, because I hadn't been giving her enough attention, and that I had enough time for her without them. It was always about what she deserved. She deserved an exciting social life. She deserved love and attention. She deserved everything the world had to offer. She deserved to be with whoever she wanted. Yeah. That's why she cheated. She didn't think I was good enough for her. She needed more. She always needed more. Why did I stay? The cage. Yeah. Every time I did something she didn't like, she threw me in the cage. And she'd lock me in there for hours. There were so many nights I had to sleep in the cage. Does it really matter how big the cage was? The point is, it was a fucking cage. Like for a dog. And a lot of the time, she'd throw me in there after roughing me up some. I told you the story would be unpleasant. But anyway, long story short, she got physical over the slightest amount of opposition. And there was a lot of opposition. Though, when things were good, they were really good. Oh, that? I had no other choice but to do it. She was going to leave me, and I knew she was going to hurt someone. And that bastard Arnold was going to help her. I heard them talking about it once. You have to understand that there was no other choice but to do what I did. The police. Do you really think they would have believed me? No, they wouldn't have bat an eye at anything I just told you. Odds are they would have just laughed in my face. Maybe you are the only good cop left. If there even is such a thing. How do you know I'm telling the truth? This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you. I even told you before that I knew you'd have a hard time believing it. Especially since you'd only ever be able to get one side of the story. I guess I ruined my chances of you believing me years ago. But I'm not doing this for shits and giggles. Why? So you'll stop asking me already. That's why. The dead can't defend themselves, and yet you insisted on getting your answers. But I'm still tired, so I'm going back to sleep. You should do the same. The fuck you mean your window broke? If that's the case, why the fuck would you just leave the room and get a drink of water? Don't you understand how dangerous that is, especially with everything that's going on right now? You really should learn to actually, I don't know, protect yourself. Cage, you're looking kind of pale. And why aren't you holding a cup or anything? Cage, what the fuck do you mean you lied? Lied about what? You didn't get a drink. Okay, why would you lie about that? What? You've been what? Shot, of course. You think you've been shot. And instead of telling me what's going on, you decided to just casually bleed all over the carpet and listen to me trauma dump. Are you fucking serious right now? I don't care that you weren't hit anywhere vital. You were fucking shot. Give me your keys. What do you mean, why? Why the hell do you think? I'm taking you to the hospital before you bleed out all over the floor. Well, if they're still out there, I'll kick their fucking ass, okay? Just shut up and let's get going.
You're an idiot, you know that, right? Yes, this is how I'm going to talk to someone who just got out of surgery. I don't care. What you did was stupid. I know getting shot wasn't your fault, but you're the one who chose not to tell me as soon as you got hurt. You should know better than to do that by now. No. Don't you fucking dare try to mock me or tease me because I showed you the slightest bit of concern. You're not in any position to be talking to me like that. We aren't friends, remember? I'm just a criminal you're babysitting. And you are just a pain in my ass. Are the pain meds kicking in yet? No, I'm not worried about you. Not anymore, anyway. I just figure that once they kick in, you'll finally start getting tired enough to sleep. You know, that thing you like to tell me you do enough of, as if I don't know you're up until the ass crack of dawn thinking most nights. I know it's important to the case. All you ever think about is the fucking case, but that doesn't mean you should ruin yourself over it. Especially not after over a year of investigating. That's a little late to be worrying about it to such a degree, don't you think? You really expect me to believe that? Well, I don't buy it. If you've been spending so many of your nights doing everything you can think of in this case, then why is it taking you so long to get any leads? I'm not saying the lead we're following is without a shred of doubt the correct one, but it's a lead. I'll give you that. It was your hard work looking through everything that helped us get that lead, but look where it's getting us. It's starting to feel like it's doing more harm than good. I know it seems a little not my usual self to say something like this, but I know maybe you should drop the case, Cage. Not in a just let the murderer go free way, I promise. Just, it might be better to dump all this extra work onto someone else for now. Of course. Of course you don't think I could do something like that. Tell me, is it because you feel too attached to this case? Or is it because of some wacko moral obsession that you feel you owe the victims and their families? Of course. Why wouldn't it be some combination of the two? That is so like you. You know that? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question. I know you know what you're like. And frankly, I'm not really in the mood to do the usual back and forth with you. Oh, was it not obvious enough? Yes, I'm angry. Your priorities are all over the place, all of the time. Just like last night, you need to start thinking more about yourself, you know? I'm sorry you got shot and all, but this should be a wake-up call for you. To start paying some fucking attention to your surroundings. I'm sorry. Um, um, I mean to get snappy with you, especially since you got out of surgery not too long ago and haven't gotten much rest lately. I'm upset. I'm starting to think that you taking me as your partner on this case has put an even bigger target on your back than you already had. Not that I don't appreciate that you wanted my help, of course. I just think that for now, you need to rest and not think about this serial killer you've been chasing. Yes, you can. You just don't want to. Because you're a stubborn arsehole, that's why. Got shot and worried more about how I was feeling instead of getting to the fucking hospital. You can't be that reckless. If you are, then I don't know if anyone will ever stop this serial killer. Yes, I genuinely believe that no one else will put as much work into this case as you. I know that might go against what I said a couple of minutes ago, but temporarily giving the work to someone else, but I don't know what else to think, alright? I'm not like you. I only care about myself and my own survival. Okay, so maybe I care if you die on me, but just a little bit, and only because it means I'll get thrown right back in my cold prison cell. Do you ever get out? I just don't want to talk about work anymore, that's all. There's no other reason I'm changing topics, don't worry about it. So, do you ever go out? Yeah, didn't think so. You seem the type to spend all your time working instead of giving yourself any amount of free time. I mean, I haven't really seen you leave to do much of anything besides work or grocery shopping since I've been staying with you. You should unwind every once in a while. And don't try to tell me there's no time or no reason for you to do that. It's bullshit, you know? Hmm. Is that, is that really the reason? I see. So then you've noticed it too. If you were afraid, you should have told me. I I could have given you something else to be afraid of, if you like. Keep your mind off other matters, that is. What kind of a monster do you think I am? After I told you everything I was comfortable sharing about my shitty relationship with your sister. Shame, Cage. Look at that. A laugh. Maybe you shouldn't be doing that right after surgery. I am not a worrywart. Stop being so ridiculous. You know, if I'm being frank, it doesn't really matter to me that much if something happens to you. Not on a personal level anyway, it's just business. I'm here to help you as much as I can, and that's all. We don't need to get too attached to each other. I yes, of course that's what I think. It's what I've always thought. I've been pretty transparent with you this whole time, haven't I? That that doesn't mean anything. I'm only trying to be civil with you because we've got a job to do, and I take any job I have very seriously. Don't mistake it for me being all soft for you or whatever you want to call it. I feel guilty about how my actions affected you, but that's it. If if you don't really think I mean it, look me in the eye and tell me I'm bluffing. Uh, that isn't what you were supposed to say. If you let me off this case, who else are you going to work with? Who else are you going to get to work with you? Like, think about it, Cage. Is there anyone out there, anyone else, who you can trust anymore? No, I guess you can't really trust me, can you? Even after tonight, just Just trust that I, at least, don't want you to get yourself killed doing anything reckless. And as much as I hate to admit it, I need you. Shut up. Damn, you can't even let me be the person I've been all this time, can you? Want the truth? Fine. I'll tell you the truth. I enjoy your company, alright? I am worried about you. That what you wanted to hear? The person who... that... I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if something happened to you. You could have died tonight. You know that, right? Enough of your sappy, feel-good bullshit, Gage. I don't care if you think I've gotten so attached to your presence that I'm afraid to lose you or whatever. I only care because you dying means that I get thrown back into a cold cell and forget it. It's not important. Wow. You're still thinking about work at a time like this. You are such a workaholic. I think now is the perfect time for you to start thinking about yourself. You know, since you're in the hospital. Oh, I'm supposed to make you take care of yourself now? I thought you were the one babysitting me in this arrangement. Okay, fair enough. So, there's no way I can convince you to temporarily put someone else on this case, so you can recover, is there? Didn't think so. Then, what do you want me to do in the meantime? Come on, get back in the bed. You know damn well they're not going to discharge someone who just got a bullet removed just a couple of hours ago, right? Of course, if you want help staying in the bed, I could hold you there. Like I told you when you first went to me for help. I'm open to anything you are. I mean, it's not like you're bad to look at or anything. Most of the time, that is. When I don't see her when I look at you. You don't have to apologize. It's not like you can help what you look like. Not without a lot of money, anyway. But enough about that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Especially not tonight. Well, you didn't answer my question. At least not reasonably. If you're not going to give this case to anyone else, what are you going to do while you're recovering? Well, that was the obvious answer, but you can't be moving around the way you've been. I don't want you going out into the field until you've recovered. Me? No, I don't think anyone would trust me without you right there. But I know I don't have any other choice. I really hate how stubborn you can be sometimes. But I guess if you weren't stubborn, you wouldn't be able to change the system. You may not have said it, but I know that's been your goal all along. You know what, move over. I need to lie down. I don't care if they get pissed off, I'm tired and we both need to try to sleep. No, I am not using the shitty chairs they put in these rooms. Just move your fucking ass before I push you myself. I'll only hold on to you if I think you'll try to leave and do something stupid. Thanks. Yeah, better. Now, shut up and get some fucking sleep. We are going to need it after the night we've had.